What is up, everyone? StonePost34. I owe you an explanation. I have dropped off the face of YouTube for the last several weeks, and I'll just tell you why. I mean, it's kind of been a tough time for our family. We lost our family pet, and we had another pet before about 5 years ago, and that was much easier how we lost him. His name is Norman. He was a cat. He just showed up downstairs. Looked like he fell asleep right next to my wife's treadmill. And she woke me up at 6 in the morning saying he's dead, and I'm like freaking out, thinking it's like a family member, like her father, who's in his 70s. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? But turned out it was Norman. So this time, actually one night I got done gaming. It was about 11 o'clock at night. Went upstairs, was watching the news, and I looked over. We had at that time a cat named Mercedes. Sadie was her name. And I look at her, and she's got a lump, kind of looks like she's a chipmunk on the right side of her cheek. And I thought cancer. And then I thought, well, maybe it could be like an abscessed tooth. She's almost 14 years old. And so I'm like, gosh darn it. So we made an appointment the following day, took her to the vet, and they said, well, we'll go in there, we'll clean out her teeth. And our vet is a really good friend of mine for the last 15 years. I've known her. Christy said, we'll go in there, clean up her teeth, take a look at it, and if we need to, we'll do a biopsy. Well, we got a call later that afternoon, and yes, they needed to do a biopsy, and Christy's comment was, I'm 99% sure we're dealing with carcinoma, a cancer. And so, pets mean a lot. We've had them. We had Sadie longer than we've had our kids, and they've always been there with our kids. My oldest daughter, who's 11, was really close with Sadie, and so let me just fill you in on what happened. It took a while. So this is almost a month ago, and then they said, well, we'll do the biopsy. Came back. It's the most aggressive form of feline cancer. They get this mouth cancer up in their gums. And she said, let's just make her comfortable. We could, but she's older. We could try to do some chemo, but she didn't know if she'd survive that. And the cost was, we're talking over $2,000, probably around $3,500 to do that. And my wife and I talked about it. We're like, let's just make her comfortable. So we got her some pain meds, and they also had some stuff that would hopefully reduce the size of the tumor. So, this went on for about 2.5 weeks. And my daughter's like, well, how will we know? And we said, well, the vet just said she would stop eating. And when she stops eating, then that's the time. Because you don't want her to starve and such. So, not this weekend, but the past weekend, she didn't eat all day Sunday, and we were home all day Sunday with neighbors, and the kids were playing, and Sadie was out and about walking around. The lump's still obviously there, but she wouldn't eat that day. Well, then I come home Monday. I got off a little early, and she had finished almost the whole bowl of food we left out that morning. So I'm pumped. I'm like, dude, she's eating. Maybe we can buy a little bit more time. So that was Monday, and we had an appointment we made Monday morning before that to actually get to put her to sleep, basically. And my wife and I talked about it. My wife's like, this has been an emotional roller coaster. Her quality of life's not good. So we decided to keep the appointment, and gosh, I am so glad we did, because our biggest fear was our daughter would come home from school by herself and find her. So we made the appointment. I got home at 8:40 that morning to take her in, and I went under the couch, and I freaked out. I mean, the tumor in her mouth had burst or something. I'm not quite sure, but there was blood everywhere under the bed. Just blood on my daughter's sheets, blood everywhere, and she was bleeding, and I just felt so bad that she had to go through this. So my wife took her, and we wound up losing her. So it was tough. I mean, it sounds so stupid, it's a cat, but it was super tough. So that's what I've been doing, and it's kind of hard to get motivated for YouTube when you got to put down a family member. So appreciate you guys watching, and take care as always. This is StonePost34.